What's going on, y'all? This is me, your host, Brandy, and this is the Black Way. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for all the support, all the love that does not go unnoticed. But we back with another one to kick off this new year. I got my boy Richard St. John in the building. He's
What's
an
going on?
actor. He's a motivational speaker. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you tell it. You run down your accolades.
Okay, so I'm an actor, artist, motivational speaker, entrepreneur. Uh, if I need to be a duck catcher,
There we go.
whatever I need to be at the time, you know what I'm saying? So
There we go.
I
Catching
do it all.
ducks too.
It's no excuses. It's whatever
No,
is for the movement to go forward. That's what we doing.
that's what we doing. That's what we doing. So, um, I met you. We take the same. We have the same acting coach, Charnel Brown. Shout out to
Yep.
Charnel. Um, so what has it been like? If y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all his business a little bit. He came from Little Rock, Arkansas, to Houston every Saturday to get this training done to help elevate his career. So, what has it been like going from Houston, Little Rock to Houston for that training? And have you noticed some growth in your personal development? And where do you see that going?
Yeah. Yes. I definitely saw a lot of growth. When I first got into it, a lot of people don't understand it. It seems as though it's like simple, but it's complicated but simple because you have
Right.
to learn the dynamics of acting and how to project certain things. And for me, coming from Little Rock, I used to fly from Little Rock to Houston every Saturday for a 3 hour class, go right back to the airport, and go back to Little Rock. And then that was the first 4 weeks. The last 2 weeks, I was actually in Miami, and I flew from Miami to Houston and back to Miami
Yeah.
for those last 2 weeks. But I got a motto called "No excuses." Like
No excuses. Yeah.
when you figure out what you want to do in life, and just understand this: when the thought come to your head, you got to understand who gave you that thought. So you'll
Right.
do yourself and your maker a disjustice if you don't proceed and follow through with that thought. So I knew that the first thing that I needed to do was get the best training ever. So I
Absolutely.
made a way. I made no excuses. If I had to ride a skateboard with a rope tied to the back of somebody's truck to get to Houston, I'd have got to his ass.
You was gonna get there,
I was gonna get there
regardless. Yeah. Yeah.
regardless.
Hey, that's the mindset you got to have in this business. It's not easy. People think you can just jump in front of the screen, action, boom, then you nah. It don't even work like that. It don't work
Yeah,
like that.
and then they'd be like, "Cut. Hey, let me holler at you real quick. Yeah,
You they say,
we gon' yeah, we
we're
gonna
gonna
holler
move
at you
on.
in Neverwary.
Right, exactly,
Go
exactly.
go get you some
You
training, cause
fired.
you
You don't come there
yeah,
ready and trained, and yeah. First
right,
of all, you probably won't even get that far. But
right.
I wanna oh, I'm sorry. And by the way, if y'all look on the bottom of the screen, his Instagram name is down there. The official the official Richard St. John. I'm all tongue tied over here, but it's at the bottom. Make sure y'all go follow him, go support his work. If y'all want to see what he got coming up, just go there and check out his work. But so like I said, we had the same coach, and I met you Saturday, and you had an interesting story briefly that you said you was on a set of BMF, and none of that excited you because a little bit of your background came from some of that area, and now what you do is on your spare time you speak to the youth so they don't go down a troubled path. I want you to touch on that because that's really when a light bulb went off, like ding ding ding, I got to talk to this guy because I'm very passionate about the youth. I strongly believe
Right.
the youth is our future, especially in the black community. I personally think they being led in the wrong direction right now between some of the shows we got that they can watch, some of the rappers that they listen to, the example of whatever's out there in the streets. It's just not working. The statistics show that our black boys are reading on the fourth grade reading level, and I'm just not okay with that. So, can you touch on a little bit your background and how it got you to talk to the youth?
Right. So, I mean, I was already on this mission, and just to clarify things, BMF is a great show. But it's the concept of the show is like I actually lived that life. I actually went in did Fed time, I had to do state time, and you know what I'm saying, I came back home with a different mindset. So that mindset was, I as I re-strengthened my relationship with God, it was like when I asked him what my purpose was, like, why did you put me on earth? And it came to me in a dream. It was like, your purpose on earth is to help save lives and change lives. So
Right.
basically, I'm doing the complete opposite of everything I used to do. So depending on me being in the streets, how many lives I probably destroyed or tarnished or whatever, it's my job and duty as my true purpose to help save and change just that many lives, if not a billion more before the day I pass.
Yeah.
And that's a part of my purpose. That's me cleaning it up. It's a lot of stuff out here that's very influential to the kids, and they listening and they looking, but it's like it's another way. It's another narrative that's not being pushed. It's only kind of like the negative side of it, but they need to know, like, when people talk about selling work and being in the streets, they show
Right.
the glorified side, but they don't show the when it's time to call the bail bondsman. They don't show the when you got to drop down. You know what I'm saying? The fee for the lawyer. They don't show the motion of discovery. They don't show the. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They only are when you locked up in the county waiting to go to the penitentiary. They only are obligated to feed you 2,000 calories a day. That's like what a 12-year-old eat. That's
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know what I'm
horrible.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
they don't show that side. So based on my experiences of what I've been through, I want to show them that it's a better way. And then I want to also, show the kids that, you know what I'm saying, the other side of what's really, really cool and not what's said to be cool. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to, you know what I'm saying, educate
Yeah.
yourself, even if you self-educate, even if you go to YouTube University, you know,
Right.
educate yourself, because there's a life after streets. It's a life after the game. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So you got to think about, one day you're gonna have a family. One day it's gonna be the
Facts.
responsibility of making sure your mom and your daddy okay, making sure your brothers and sisters okay. And
Right.
another thing is that when you get those strikes on your criminal record, it's hard to get them off, and a lot of people don't even make it out of that. Uh,
It's
you
hard to
know,
do some of the most basic stuff when you got a
the
criminal
most
record.
basic stuff, because you have a
It's hard.
criminal background. You said
Yeah.
you can't even get certain jobs because of a
Yeah.
criminal background. So you know what I'm saying. Um, I was blessed enough to be able to get out of the system.
Hmm.
So now I want to talk to the at-risk youth. Um, Apply to become vendors in different areas, which I am a vendor for the Little Rock School District, the
Oh,
city
good,
of Little
good.
Rock, and Pulaski County, which is where I'm from, to
Okay.
be able to, be a motivational speaker, go to the high schools, go to the junior highs, and talk to the children. Now, the good thing about, with the acting is the passion that I was blessed with by God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's not the end of what I'm here for. The acting is going to be the platform in order for me to reach the masses
Right.
at one time, opposed to one by one. So a lot of things I use as a tool. So if that's what they like, you know what I mean. I enjoyed being on the show, and
Yeah.
but it's like, all right, cool. They're like, oh yeah, dude was on BM. Okay, cool, yeah. So now I can create dialogue. Hey, bro, what you got going on with your
Yeah.
life?
I was just about to say, I know that get the kids started. Like, man, we so
Yeah,
good to do from B. I know
I
that get
didn't
the
realize.
kids started. Yeah.
I didn't realize how many people saw me on there. I just,
Yeah. Yeah. So just touching just a little bit. So you got out the system, you changed your life, but you were born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas.
yeah, Little Rock, Arkansas, from the East End. I was in the era of banging in Little Rock. I was in yeah, I'm an '80s
Is it
baby.
is it
So
Little Rock like first 48 episodes? They be in Little Rock a lot. I was a first 48 fan, but
you
is,
know
is
what?
it
It's
like
so
that
crazy.
or
I be moving and grooving, so I haven't seen the. I know the concept of the show, and I've seen a few shows. I haven't seen when they was at
yeah.
Little Rock, but
Yeah,
when you
they
change,
highlighted a lot of killings, unfortunately,
yeah, it's a
on there.
lot. So at the same
So you
time,
grew up in that tough environment?
right, and
Okay.
I do stay tuned in to the streets to be able to see what's going on. But like, when you change your life, there's a lot of other things you got to change. You got to change your environment. You got to change
Yeah.
your mentality. You got to change
Oh
your
yeah.
outlook. You got to change all that. Not saying that I
Yeah.
don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to I can reach them through social media. I can reach them through events that they attend. I can reach them through, but I don't have to go stand on the block and hope to, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a family myself that I got to be here to protect. So I can't
Man,
get
I
caught in the
love that.
crossfire of a war going on, trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to
Yeah,
have a method and a plan in order to be able to do it. And I have it.
yeah.
And most people, they watch TV, and I did music. I was signed to
Do.
Universal Records back in the day. So it's kind of like I kind of like, and the jack of all trades, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but the master of none. But the part that they forget to say is the end of that is that I'm better than the one that mastered one.
There we go. There we
Jack of
go.
all
Yeah.
trades, but the master of none. But I'm better than the one that only mastered one.
Better than the one that only master one. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him.
Right.
So you did just say you were signed to Universal back in the day, and you had to be reading my mind. I was going there next. So um what did you do? Were you an artist? Were you a writer, producer? Did you do it all? How was that?
I was an artist in the mouthpiece. Like,
Okay.
yeah, so I got signed before social media. There was no MySpace, there was no none.
Yeah.
Like it came out as I was signed, but
Yeah.
nowadays you can, create a buzz on social media, and then you can get your numbers up,
TikTok.
and then
Yeah.
okay, here they
You got
come, they looking
TikTok.
for you.
Good.
I
Yeah.
had to do it the grassroots way, and the grassroots way is you got to have your feet touching the street and going to different places and meeting people. When I went from Little Rock, I made up in my mind that I was leaving and I wasn't coming back until I got a deal. I chose New York, and I went to New York, and I was just like stomping the pavement everywhere. I made a lot of
Yeah.
relationships out there, and I started making a name for myself. I was actually in a group, and 11 months after we touched down in New York, we got our first production deal. 6 months after that, we got a parent label deal with Kedar
Okay.
Massenberg. And then 6 months after that, we got distribution through Universal.
That was back in the time where you had to sell the DVDs, I mean the CDs out your car. You had to
Right,
go to
right,
especially New York, you had to go to those small, I don't want to say juke joints. I feel like that's the jazz spots, but you know them small spots that you perform at where you look
right.
if you get
That's what we was doing.
that's what you okay, okay,
Yeah, we
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing it. We was doing the showcases in New York and Manhattan.
Yeah, the showcases,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
we was doing the showcases, Manhattan, Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, everywhere. Wherever one was
Yeah.
at, we was there. And we from Little Rock. So, and the
Yeah.
thing is that the most powerful thing is a made up mind.
There we go. Okay.
So when I told people from Little Rock, I'm going to New York and I'm not coming back until I got a deal, they said, bruh, you gonna go way up there? I said, well, it's in the United States, and we in the United States of America, so it's just right there. I ain't say I was going to
Right.
Mars. And
Yeah.
then the thing was, they was like, man, it's like 5 million rappers. I said, where? Because all I see is me.
There you
My
go.
mind is made up. I don't. There is no competition. There is no
Yeah.
obstacles. There is no nothing. There's only what my mind has made up.
Yeah. If it's 5 million rappers, I'm gonna be the one that stand out. What's wrong with that? You
Right.
know? Yeah. So what did you go from music and transition into acting, or you were doing both at one point in your career?
No, I just got into acting about 3 years ago,
Okay.
something like that. But I always knew that I was going to transition from music to acting because I studied the
Okay.
greats. So when yeah, I definitely wasn't acting when I was an artist because you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be an artist. But I knew when I got to a certain age, I was going to transition into acting. So like when you look at, Ice T, Ice Cube, Queen Latifah,
Hmm.
Most Def, Tupac,
They made that
the list goes
transition.
on. They
Yeah.
all transitioned into acting after music.
Why do you
And
think that is though? Do you think that's for a specific reason?
oh, I got
Because
to say Method Man
I
too.
don't think their
But
goal was to become an actor. I think there's a reason they transitioned. I think maybe they saw a bigger bag, if you will, or a longevity of a career in acting.
well, I'll say this: when you're an artist, you're already in that realm of being in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, but you got to look at it like this here: you always have to have an exit strategy to what you
Okay.
currently have going on, or you just, what I'm saying, fish food in the water for the sharks.
Got you.
So
Yeah.
I think what they did was they tried it out. But at the same time, once you get to a certain age in music, it's like you got a generation below you, then a generation below you, and the music evolves. You've never seen an 80-year-old rapper ever.
Haven't seen it. I would be really
But
upset if I did too.
the crazy part is with acting, you can act until the day you die. There's no age cap on acting.
Shit, I'm sorry. My mic then got turned down. Hold on, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, there's no age cap on acting. You can act to the day you die.
Yeah,
Then
you
what you
really
can do
can.
is,
Cicely
yeah,
Tyson was like 90 years old acting for Tyler Perry.
right. Remember he gave her that $1 million for that one scene and couple of
At
scenes
one
she did in the
scene.
movie.
Yeah,
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 so I and then at the same time you have to look at it like this here. If you're an artist, you're an artist.
yeah,
It transcends across the whole plateau of artistry. You see what I'm saying? So like
yeah,
if you think about it, when you look at a music video, the concept is that a music video is simply a 3-minute movie. Go back to the move the music videos you seen. Remember where they had the storyline in the background as well as they had
hmm
the performance shot, and then it was a whole storyline to the song that was close to 3 minutes.
yeah.
So it's really
They
a
don't
three
make
minute movie,
music videos like they used to, but yeah, they used to tell stories.
right?
Yeah, and
You
when they
know,
film music videos, it is similar to a set. You know,
right? It's
they
the exact same thing. And then
yeah,
a lot of rappers was acting in their own videos then
that's true. That's very true.
because they are
Yeah,
part of the storyline.
yeah,
So, it's the same thing to me. I kind of dig deep and I look and I just study a lot of things on purpose because I say, let me see what worked and what didn't work. And what
hmm
did work, let me perfect it to where it'll work for the way that I'm gonna do things.
right.
I'm not in the copying, but if the concept is a concept that's great, but it's kind of like two people play basketball, but Kobe and LeBron, they both
hmm
play ball, but they play ball a different way. But they still
Absolutely.
scoring
Yeah,
the points though. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? So when you can find out what works for you, you can materialize it, and it's gonna be your niche. There's
yeah,
not two actors or two rappers the same that have a very highlighted career. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you remember back in the day, Snoop Dogg sounded like Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z sounded like Tupac, sounded like Biggie, sounded
yeah.
like
They got
there
their
was
own
no,
sound.
they had their own
Nowadays,
sound. There
everybody
was
do that
no
mumble rap stuff, mumble rap or
right.
drill rap.
So I mean, you know what I'm saying, and peace up to everybody that's get your chips up and do what you do.
Yeah,
It's just we different eras is different eras. I
yeah,
come from an era where it's like even with the writing, like if you wasn't writing your own music, that what you how
yeah,
you rapping your own right? Like I'm from that
yeah.
era.
That yeah, I'll be wondering like how you get somebody else to write what you trying to say you lived through. What? But hey, the ghostwriter thing, that's popular. But
Yeah,
with you being a signed artist, obviously it's different. Well, it may not be no different than it is back then, but what advice would you give to any up and coming artist who's trying to get signed or they're independent trying to make their way to the mainstream level? What advice would you give them?
stay independent as long as you can.
Oof.
And if you can stay independent, stay independent. Young Dolph
Yeah,
did it, you
he
know.
did.
I mean, I think he did get a distribution deal like later, but it's a million different types of deals, it's a million different types of contracts. So if you're
Yeah.
completely owned by the label, that's a no-go. That's like ancient history.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So,
They
but
got
if
you
you can
strapped
create your
in.
own imprint and your own brand, and then just simply either get a deal with marketing
Hmm.
or distribution, you gotta understand something. A record deal is simply a bank loan.
Yeah.
You got to pay that back. They not just
Yeah.
giving you.
A lot of
They're
these
not giving
artists
you
is on that
nothing.
360 deal. They, oh, I signed for 20 million. Okay. Watch how much you got to pay back. Probably 50 million.
Yeah, watch how many shows you got to do. How many you
Mm-hmm.
got? Yeah, that's a
You know, a
loan.
lot of these artists nowadays, they doing all of these shows because that's the money they get to touch.
Right.
You know, from sales and stuff. They not seeing that, but they go
That's
do all them tours so they can make the money.
right. The sales is recoupable by the label, but you got to understand something. We not selling CDs no more. They're
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
streams.
It's
So when you
all
was
stream.
so the streams you getting like what? A couple pennies on the dollar. You know how many
Yeah,
streams you got to
Snoop
sell to
Dogg
get
said he had over like what 50 million streams on Spotify, and he only made $46,000 off that.
now? Don't that sound like what they call that highway robbery?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. If I
But
bring you a million off
but
top,
look, but we go to jail for robbery.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a crime. Yeah.
You know what? I got some more advice for the young artists. This is
Okay,
two
let's
very
hear it.
important things. There's two very important things. Number
Okay.
one, don't be excited to go in debt. Create a way to finance your own career as much as you can.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to own your work. You want to own you. You don't want to be per se a slave to the game. And you got to remember this: you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Okay.
The other thing is just have a passion for what you do.
Yeah.
And oh, when it comes to those contracts, remember this. Watch this. What's the worst? What's worse than being robbed with a gun?
Uh, being shot with it.
No, being robbed with a pen.
Oh, yeah. I said being shot with it. Yeah. But
But when you
that's
sign a
yeah.
when you sign a BS contract, you stop.
You win.
You
Yeah,
got
you
robbed with a
win.
pen and you agreed to it.
Yeah, and they get the what they try to do once they realize they stuck is they try to hire lawyers to look for loophole languages inside the contract. That's what they try
Right.
to do.
Well, guess
But
what?
my
They've
thing
been doing this.
is, yeah, these artists in general, not today or just artists in general, I don't think they take the time out to read it because one, if they did, they probably wouldn't sign it. Or two, if they did, they realize in the next year or so they're gonna outperform that contract and expect more, but you're locked into that contract. That contract doesn't say if you outperform this halfway, we can renegotiate. They don't make sure that those type of languages are in there.
Well, watch this. Number one, that fine print that's this big,
Yeah,
they don't be reading it. Number
yeah,
two, across the board with music and movies, you know what I'm saying? You have to know your value. You have to know your worth. And
yeah,
I was always taught anytime you do anything out of desperation, you made the wrong move. So if somebody put a contract in front of you and say we're gonna give you 1.7 million and you have nothing and you desperate to get that money, you just signed your whole career away for some money you still gotta pay back.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then what
man.
they be doing is going to go buy a whole bunch of stupid stuff like,
To fit
nah,
the
figure out a
image.
way to make the
Yeah.
money make more money.
Yeah, they go buy stuff to make the image, and then 2 years later, cars are repoed, houses, landlords suing for rent. It just seemed like nowadays artists don't have a plan. So that's why I was wondering, what type of advice, because we need to hear from people like you who have been in the industry, who have been signed, who had to grind from Little Rock, Arkansas to get where he is. They need to hear
Right,
from somebody like you.
right. So even when, everything come through with the movies and I get the starring role and you know what I'm gonna do with my money? This is a concept that I came up with. And I actually been doing it my whole life because like I said, I was in the streets for a long time. Let,
Mhm.
let me give y'all some advice. If you like, we're gonna call it stuff. If you like stuff, turn whatever the stuff you like into a business. If you like
Yeah.
jewelry, start you a jewelry company. Get your jewelry for free and sell it to all your rapper friends. If
Man,
you
these
like
jewelers
houses,
be
start you a
robbing our rappers blind. They just be
right.
robbing them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
be robbing. But then that's another subject. But yeah, you're right.
If you like big houses, start you a real estate company or a holdings company. If you like cars, go get your dealer's license and go get it for the wholesale price. Quit paying retail because the interest rate on everything is ridiculous. So I'm just saying, this stuff is just stuff. And then when you get it,
Material.
figure out how to make it from a liability to an asset. Like this is
Yeah,
the longevity. This is the secrets. That's
yeah.
I'm gonna leave it right there. But just
There
understand
we go.
when you figure out how to crack the Da Vinci Code, you be all right.
There we go.
And
So,
understand. Nobody cares.
yeah.
When I
Oh,
say nobody
especially in this
cares,
business.
when
In
I
this
say
business, they
nobody,
don't care.
huh?
In this business, they don't care.
Nobody cares. Nobody even
They don't
cares
care.
about what
Mm-mm.
your image is. So if you go spend all your money on a bunch of things that will depreciate as soon as you touch it, when the thrill is gone, and like you said, they're coming to take back, and they're coming to take back, and they suing because you didn't pay this and pay that. Like they on to the next person.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I always say like I have no desire when I make it. I have no desire to instantly go buy the Lambo, the Bentley truck. I'm cool. I got a Chevy Malibu. I can drive that really till the wheels fall off of it. I'm gonna get my BMW, but other than that, those cars depreciate as soon as they leave the lot. Unless you're somebody like Rick Ross who collect them, but he make money off of them. He collect them, he sell them, and they also can be used in movies, music
Right.
videos. He
I was just gonna
literally
say that. I was just gonna
yeah,
say
his
that.
old
He
school
turned them.
cars are used
He
in
turned them
videos
from a
and
li-
movies.
He turned them from a liability to an asset. So
He
like, look,
absolutely
for
did.
real,
Yeah.
I got some people in Georgia that stay in Fayetteville, right? So
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I used to go holler at my people every day. I would pass by Rick Ross' house, going to the
Okay.
set. One time I stopped and I looked at it. I was like, okay, that's good motivation. But at the
It
same time,
is.
I already understood that Rick Ross. Okay, so you remember the movie Coming to America, the second
Of
one?
course.
That
Yeah.
was Rick Ross' house.
Yeah, that was his house. Yeah.
Right. So okay, in Georgia they got what's called the Georgia Book of Production. I think they maybe changed the name, but you can put all of your stuff in there. You can put your houses, you can put your land, you can put your you
Yeah.
can put
Yeah, they
cars, you can
got that out here. That's how they scout for houses out here. They got
right, and
a
they
database of people.
and the production
Mhm.
company pay you to use it in movie
Yep.
sets. So think about it, all his stuff is paying for itself.
It
He
is.
turned it from a liability to an asset. So
Yeah.
they might have been laughing at him for getting the cows, but if you have a certain amount of uh
Agriculture.
agriculture, but if you have animals on your land, you
Yeah.
get a tax
Livestock.
break.
That's what I meant.
You
I'm
get a
sorry.
tax break
Livestock.
for that. If you got
Yeah.
livestock on your land, you get a tax break for that.
Yeah.
That's called
He's
smart
smart with it.
business.
I ain't gonna lie. He is smart with it as far as business wise. He done turned a lot of stuff in his life into money. But
Hey, watch this. Watch this. Like I said, he like lemon pepper wings. What did he go do?
buy Wingstop.
He went and bought some wing stops.
He went and bought Wingstop. Yeah. And
Now,
checkers.
don't that only
Yeah.
make sense?
It do. Yeah, it do. It do. Like shout out to Rick Ross because that's motivation right there. But actor versus artist, which is harder? Recording artist, which is harder?
Uh, tomato, tomato. That depends on the individual. Because if you got a made up mind, nothing is ever hard. I
Okay,
mean, at
I
least
like
not for
that.
me. I if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way.
Yeah. You gonna put your all
But
into it.
I do want to elaborate on when we was talking about the average youth.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Okay, so watch this. I also, I'm an ex offender.
Okay.
I represent for the ex offender that want to come home and legitimately make some real legit moves, and what I'm saying, get back into that cool space and not having to worry about looking over their shoulder or getting shot and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So like I
Yeah.
rep for the ex offender because I went from the feds to the big screen. You see what I'm saying? I'm leading by example that you can recreate your life after incarceration
Yeah, I
because
love that for
the,
you.
the thing is that when once you in and you get back free, like a lot of
Hmm.
people don't know that shit really. I mean, doing time is easier than being on parole or probation
Probation
because
and parole is a setup to me.
right, it's
It's a
it's
trap.
it's set up for you to trip up.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Right. So if you got somebody who ran a criminal organization and they get out and probation or parole tell them they got to go get a job at McDonald's, that's not gonna work.
Mm-mm.
So, but at the same time, I advise those guys to just use the same hustle tactics, but switch the mindset and the product to something that's legit, and they're gonna make just as much money, if not more. Just pay your
Yeah.
taxes. Just
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
your
pay your
taxes.
taxes. Yeah. My
Right,
philosophy is you can always knock on somebody's door and see if they need their grass cut. You can always find an elderly person and see if they need their trash taken to the curb. Well, we here in Texas and Houston, so we get trash on it. Everybody's different. But that's a hustle. You go around and make some flies. Hey, me and my homies, we cut grass, we rake leaves, we plow snow, we do something. Anything other than the illegal activity will help. I can't stand to see people feeling like their only way is to rob, to jug, to steal. It's more ways, but when you're a product of your environment, it's hard to learn that. So you got to be
right. So that's why,
surrounded by the right people.
right. That's why it's each one teach one. That's my mission.
Yeah,
Because it's been times where like, but the reality of it is what you said is true. But the reality of it is like if you can't, if you can't find uh legitimate ways of getting income as far as like trying to get a job, you got to think about this here. If a person is hungry and they family hungry, they're not thinking about no law.
Yeah, that's true.
We hungry right now.
That's true.
So I mean, what I'm working to do is help reduce the rate of recidivism, which is when someone's incarcerated, they're saying 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go back because, but
Yeah.
hey, they call the penitentiary rehabilitation. You
Yeah,
feel me?
right. And
So
yeah,
it's
the
it's
system's
it's
so
you
flawed.
gotta open up your third eye and pay
Yeah,
attention to what's paying attention to you, because to them you ain't you just you a bunch of money. They get $33,000 per inmate per so
yeah,
much, however, every day.
yeah,
These is
yeah,
business deals. This ain't, they don't even care nothing about the human being and themselves.
yeah,
So I just want to lead by example, and I want to help people get in a position to help make business moves. And if they don't want to be the CEO, then at least we can look out and then help put them in a position to make an ample amount of money as, what I'm saying, a great employee, because we're not going to judge your background and none of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
one thing about acting is there is no background check in acting. And everyone who's been in the streets has personality. So now just get with, you know, the program and learn the fundamentals of how to do it, and then just start you something new. But you still have to have another means of income in the meantime, in between time, because I got three types of money. I got today money, which is we got to eat today.
Got that
Longevity money could be like real estate. It's gonna pay off, but down the line. And then
down the line. Yeah.
you got dream money. Dream money is you got to dump money into the dream before the dream pay you back.
Okay.
So you got to have today money, longevity money, and then eventually you'll get the dream money if you stick with it. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So like, all right, for ex-offenders, you know what I'm saying? Transportation is one of the industries that ain't never gonna slow down ever.
Never.
Get you a
Yeah, never.
CDL, get you a CDL,
Hmm.
and make you some money. Like, start as a company,
Can you be a
drive.
felon with a CDL?
Huh?
Can you be a convicted felon with a CDL?
Yeah, I got a CDL.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought they put
Yeah,
restrictions on that. Okay.
As long as you got
And
a
it,
good driving record and you pass school, you got you a CDL, go get your job, get out the way. And then I think
yeah,
that the greatest part for me was it helped me get solitude, and I was able to think and be alone and not be distracted and bothered. And you know what I'm saying? And I was making
yeah.
money. As so, that's an industry so then, okay, then you get it to the point where you start a trucking company. You know what I'm saying? Right now,
Yeah.
I just started a pilot car company. When you see the
Okay.
18 wheelers with the oversized loads, you see the car in the
Yeah.
front, car in the
The
back,
car in the
with the
front, the
orange
car in the
flags.
back. Yeah.
They making a grip right now because there's a shortage
Yeah.
of pilot cars. So I'll be looking at what's the problem, what's missing. Let me fulfill that, and then that's how you do business. You figure out what's missing, and then
Right.
you fill that void.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. If our young boys who are troubled right now could have this mindset, I promise we'll be a better place. And I feel like it's a target on our black boys' back. So when you speak like this, I just hope and pray to God that this message is getting out to the right people. So
Right.
so I appreciate you giving that insight. I want to switch gears a little bit. So you were on the set and actually on featured on BMF and The Color of Purple. What was that like? That is a huge set. That we talking about $50 million budget type set. Okay, that's it ain't hard to make it on that set. Extra support and lead, whatever, production assistant. It's not easy making on that, but you did. So what's the journey been like?
Well, my journey is, first of all, I study before I move. I don't move and then try to study to catch up with the move. I study before I move. So I went and got acting classes before I even set foot on anybody's set. When I
Okay.
went to the set as an extra, I went to the set to study set etiquette. It was way bigger
Yep.
than just being seen on TV,
Yep.
because I wanted to pay attention to what the director's doing, what the producer's doing, what the showrunner's doing, what the PA is doing, what the second AD is doing, what the production people are doing. They running the camera, they running the boom mics, they running what I'm saying, they running
Yeah.
everything. And I'm just paying attention, like I'm just soaking up. Because for me, it was, this is school.
Oh yeah.
And talk to me, I talk back. So I ask questions.
Hmm.
You gotta understand, they went to school for this, and they willing to tell me. I'm all ears.
It's free too.
right, and it's free. And then that's
Yeah.
networking and building relationships because you never know who you talking to on set. I met a lot of
Yeah.
great people, that I met some people that was kind of, you know, disconnected a little bit, but it's okay though. I just pray for them, make sure you got make sure they all right.
Yeah.
But the experience itself was like, just to take all the technical part of my brain out, it was like, wow, did I just get on this set like this? You know what? When I applied for it and they hit me back, my homegirl had put me on it, and I didn't think it was real. Because I
Yeah.
was in Little Rock. I was finna have to make it all the way to that line. I was like, I had screenshot the email and said, "Hey, is this real?" She said, "Nah,
Yeah.
that's real." I said, "Okay," because I don't want to pay $900 for no plane ticket, get over there, and is
Yeah. And then you find
you know what I'm
out it
saying?
ain't nothing. Yeah.
It's swindling Susie over here trying to
Yeah.
get some money. You
Right.
know, like, nah.
Yeah.
But so I went, and with no hesitation. When I went,
Okay.
I made the best of it. I just, you know, I always make a way to make a way. There's no excuse. No
Yeah. What
excuse.
what about the
And that,
color purple? How you got on that one?
when I got into the system of the casting company,
Uh-huh.
they just kept calling.
Is this cab? Cab
That was
casting?
Cab. Yeah, that was Cab. They called
Cab
me
casting
for
for color purple?
yeah, Cab cast me for
Oh
BMF
man.
season 2. They cast me for BMF season 3, which is coming up March 1st of this year. They cast me for Praise This. They cast me for um, Color Purple, the musical film.
Man,
I
that's
did some BET
amazing.
Plus stuff. And then at the same time, too, by word of mouth of people that I was meeting, people would text me and be like, "Hey, you need to call this person right here. They looking for people right now." And then
Yeah,
I
that's important. That's
right,
important.
right.
Making
So
those
like,
connections is important.
I have another acting coach as well, Sheik Bay, and I
Okay.
met him through Rayanne Lawrence. That was K9 on BMF season 2. Like, me and him,
Okay.
we clicked. That's my partner. So it's all about networking and relationship building, and go there and be ready to do the job. Don't
Yeah.
go playing, because they they can either kick you off the set, or they can be like, "Oh, okay, cool," and they'll let you finish the day, and they just won't never call you back. You have to have some
Yeah.
etiquette about what you're doing when you're on set, because this is time and money. This budget is a big budget. They don't got time to be playing with nobody.
Those shows, all those shows you named are huge budgets. Like it's a blessing to even be able to step foot on that set. So when you do step foot on there, it's all business. Speaking or non-speaking role, it's all business. Do not
Right,
go up in there playing. Do not
right.
do that. It's in
And
your
then
best
also
interest
what it
to
does is
network.
it gives you the motivation when you see the main characters. It gives you the motivation to want to keep going, and to get into a space where you start getting speaking roles and major speaking roles and major and more, because your
Yeah.
performance is going to transcend into everybody's eyes. They're gonna remember. They either gonna remember one or two things: that you did a great job, or that you did a terrible job. So
Yeah.
you want to make them remember that you did a great job. And then
Yeah.
your phone might ring one day, and they're like, "Hey, we saw you at yeah, can you come over here, and we want you to try out for this part right here." Like, you never
Yeah.
know, what I'm saying? And then it just it's I'm patient. I'm patient. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm in the
Gotta
study
be.
mode of learning everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so everything happens
Have you
on
got it?
God's
So
anyway.
season three is that speaking role, or you
The what?
still kind of is season three that they cast you in? Is that a speaking role, or they just bring you
No,
back?
they brought me back. It wasn't a speaking role, but it's like everything that they asked me to do was you got extras, and then you got featured extra, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
So
saw when you was a
featured
featured extra.
extra
That scene where they
basically
bust
mean
down the door.
it's not a crowd of people. It's a more
Yeah,
intimate setting, to where, like, if you a featured extra, they looking you can it's not a blink of an eye. You can see me. You don't have to. You gonna
yeah,
see me. You have to pause and say,
yeah.
"Oh,
Like
there you go, right there."
you're not running across the screen. You actually on the screen.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So, the crazy part about it is when I did season 2, they kept calling me back, and I kept going, but they kept putting me in these certain type of roles that was like I would be seen. So, after they wrapped up, and then they started to run the promo, the late the press run for season 2 coming out.
yeah. Press run,
Uh,
media tour, all that. Yeah,
yeah, I noticed that they had used, one of my people called me, and was like, "Hey, bro, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You in the Essence magazine?" And I looked at on the internet, and they had took a picture. They used one of the pictures that I was in with Leslie Jones, and I can't remember the other two guys' names, but like I was in the episode one when they busted the house in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I was part of Terry's crew, and like they used one of those pictures and they just flooded the internet with it, and then they put me in the fifth episode trailer, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, cool. And then like out of the blue, they called me for asked me was I available for a part in season three, and I was like, yeah. So I came, and but I was singled out, so it's like I can't tell you. See, that's another
Yeah.
thing. Don't
Yeah. You
spill the
don't be
beans.
don't be running your mouth. Yeah.
Don't spill the beans. But I will
Yeah.
tell you this here: they kind of spotlighted me. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it looks like I feel like somebody watching
Yeah. So,
because
somebody is watching.
they keep putting me in these little, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, these little
Somebody is
spaces where it's
watching.
like,
Yeah. They watching. That's how you got to where you are. But man, I really do love your story and admire um you going from where you came from and getting on BMF. I hope that's not something you look at as a small accomplishment. I could see you doing big things with you having those connections and networking and being on these large sets. I mean that's amazing. But I want to wrap up with um asking you, what is a message you would have for your younger self? If your older self can tell your younger self something, what would that be?
that's a good question right there. What would my older self tell my younger self? Stop. Just stop. Stop. Quit moving so fast and stop. Like sometimes it take. Okay, so let me break that down to you. You ever heard of the King's disease?
No.
Okay, so uh Nas talks about this a lot. The King's disease is it's like if I'm gonna give you an example, like in the streets, it's like you could be doing well and you start getting signs that you need to stop,
Mm-hmm.
but you ignore the signs, and what you're doing is you feeling like you start feeling untouchable.
Yeah.
And then but you got a lot of signs that gave you the opportunity to stop. But because you were so arrogant and you kept going, bam, now you got hit. You got indicted. You got shot. You got killed. You got the King's disease is like arrogance. And if
Okay.
you're not smart enough to stop when you see the signs, and then you can change the trajectory of the route of your life, then now
Mm-hmm.
you gotta see because God already got your road mapped out. Now you didn't had to take the long route to get back to the route He created for you.
Facts. God got it mapped out.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like for real, for real.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you better talk to God. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, all the gangsters, if you two gangsters to have a relationship with God, I don't want to be your friend no way.
Hey, for real.
I'm
If you
just
can't
telling
have
you
a
that
relationship with God,
he
yeah.
made everything.
Yeah, man. I love
Yeah,
that, man. Like I said, I really, really hope and pray that when this airs, that somebody, I don't care who or how many, but somebody take your story and apply some of those morals and beliefs into their own life so they can take off and elevate like you have. I know you're a good example for your kids because from what I can see and a little I got to know you, you ain't going back to where you came from. You only elevating, and your children
right,
see that, so they gonna follow dad's footsteps. They gonna want to
right,
be like dad, you know. So
right. So in actuality, I did get a chance to talk to my younger self
okay,
because my kids, they've they on a great path. You see what I'm saying? So I did get to talk
yeah,
to my younger self, and at the same time, people need to start giving other people their flowers because what's happening is it's a lack of valuable affection towards people. Hey, you smart.
yeah,
Congratulations on what you accomplished. Keep
yeah.
going. Don't stop. You know what
We
I'm
need
saying?
more of that.
Opposed to
Yeah,
you see what I'm
make it
saying?
a
Like
safe space for us.
right.
You know,
So it's just
yeah,
like everybody needs somebody no matter how they feel about it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be around the right people. You can't need the people that's taking you down the wrong path, because
Yeah,
that's crash dummy stuff right there, you know.
crash
So
dummy,
I'm
man.
gonna lead by example, and I'm gonna show, because I done been through that life, and I'm not going back. I'm not putting myself in a position to go back. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah, man. You doing big things, man. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. We I can see us working together in the future. I'm sure I see you on set one day because we gonna get there. Especially with the teachers of Charnel, she gonna get us right. So
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah,
gonna put us in
yeah.
the right rooms too with the right people. So
Charnel, Charnel Brown,
yeah,
y'all need to take our
she
class.
the real deal. Yeah, she the real deal. I want to close it out. Any projects you got going on that you would like us to know about, or you got to keep that hush hush for now?
Well,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
mean, I can tell you that, BMF season 3 is coming out March 1st.
Okay.
Any and everybody that wanna, follow me, my Instagram is the official Richard St. John.
It's at the
Um,
bottom. So y'all look at the bottom. It's been down there this whole episode. Y'all ain't got no excuse.
Talk to me, I talk back. I run my own page. I'm I'm from Little Rock. I ain't never gonna
Yeah.
be Hollywood. I'm gonna run all my own stuff. I ain't tripping. I talk back, and you know what I'm saying. I just want to spread positivity to everybody. I want to show love. I want to help those that want to be helped, because you can't help who doesn't want to be helped. And at the
Gotta
same
want help.
time,
Yeah.
just know that y'all great. Like y'all
Yeah.
great. Think about it. Like
Oh,
appreciate the
great.
things that really mean something. You know what I'm saying. Have no complaints in life, because you woke up this morning.
There you go.
A lot of
There you
people
go.
didn't.
I don't take
Right
that for
now,
granted.
somebody right now
Yeah.
somebody sleeping under a bridge. It's cold and wet. Be grateful
Facts.
for what you have.
Facts. Facts. I love it. And for y'all out there, y'all remember in the beginning, he's a motivational speaker. He speaks to the youth. So please contact him by way of his Instagram, or if you need to reach out to me. If you want him to speak to your kids, anybody, he down for it. He willing to do it. We can set that up. So
Yes,
thank y'all for
definitely.
tuning in. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
No, definitely. I'm just agreeing
Yeah.
with you. Like, yes, we have to become a village, and we have to save them. We got to save them, because
Gotta
we
save them,
can't we
man.
can't we can't let the
Yeah.
we can't let them just go out like that. You know what I'm
Your
saying?
mind's so tainted
They
right now.
they
It hurts me sometimes seeing videos of our kids or teenagers and seeing the path they going down.
they need more
Man,
love.
it just yeah, yeah. We got to show more love to our young black boys, our young black girls, and just be there for each other and nothing but positivity. But I want to thank you, Richard, for coming on, taking out the time of your day, your busy schedule to come chat with me. I really do appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all follow him. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe this video. This is the Black Way Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, and as usual, I'll see y'all for the next episode. Peace out.